Okay, let's try this again. We'll see if it works this time. Talk about a bunch of technology issues today. I'm glad you guys have joined us. Today I thought I would talk about a good foundation for body health. This was one of the first things that Dr. Brett taught me when we first started going to him. And it really packs a punch um, when it comes to giving your body the nutrients that it needs in order to succeed, in order to, not be snacking on junk all day, and to feel good, not to feel tired. That being said, it's like 12:30, and I haven't had it yet, and that is our daily green smoothie. And some days it gets pushed off, but I think because that is typically the second thing I drink every day, I have a very, very clean coffee that we drink. Um, and I drink it, that's about the first thing I drink every morning. But um, yeah, so today I kind of just want to talk about routine, and I want to talk about the foundation for a good, what I believe and what Dr. Brett has taught me to believe, that the foundation of good health is, and why. So we've been live for about a minute and a half at this point. I just want to see if anybody's going to jump on today and join us, because we love to take questions. Like, we can talk about whatever your heart's desire. And, if you have something that is specifically going on in any given week, well, let's talk about it. Otherwise, I will just talk about what's been on my heart. And maybe I'll do that in addition to it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Um, so, routine is super important. If you've been following my channel at all and have seen the creation of my new channel, which is Temple Watchers, which focuses on the spiritual as well as the physical health of our bodies, you've heard me repeatedly say, I believe that the message the Father is speaking to me, and potentially to more of the body at large, is developing rhythms in our lives that support what we're trying to do in his kingdom. So, something he impressed upon me 2 years ago, I guess at this point, was that unless we're healthy, we can't really be effective in his kingdom. Our family has gone through such a journey, and I have my testimony posted on our channel. You can go look at that later. Maybe I can. I don't know if my daughter knows how to post a link to it in a live after it's posted, but we'll do what we can. But either way, I do have our testimony up there, and you'll hear it if you watch it, that we really were struggling. We ended up um, being out of church for a good 3 months. And that really spoke volumes to me. I did not want to live like that. And that's really what kind of pushed me into looking for answers and asking the Father, what in the world am I missing? So, he answered that prayer with Divine Design Natural Health, which is here in the town that we live. And we've been working with Dr. Brett for the last year and a half now. And our whole family is seeing uh, incredible healing in every aspect of our lives. We all had different symptoms, we all had different physical problems, and everyone is experiencing healing basically using the same healing techniques. And so that's what I want to pass along to the body of Christ at large, is what are those healing techniques that can literally heal anyone of any malady that you are struggling with. So those rhythms and those patterns that the Father has been talking to me about implementing in our lives include regular time with him in the form of Bible study, regular time with him in the form of prayer, and then what are we eating? What's our pattern, our rhythm of food in our lives? And I've previously said that if we don't establish a good rhythm of food in our lives, we're never going to establish that rhythm spiritually of spending time with him. But I would stand corrected in that I now believe, and I think the Father has shown me that pattern, that rhythm, those habits are established the more we submit ourselves to him spiritually, and then he can strengthen the physical side of us. I think they go hand in hand, to be honest, because there are many things, many times I've seen that pattern in our lives where it wasn't until we started walking something out physically that he circumcised our heart spiritually. So, so I think it's both and. So today I'm just going to talk about what is that rhythm and pattern that we've created in our lives as far as healing our physical body. So most importantly, and what I typically tell anyone who asks me, if you can replace 1 or 2 of your meals with a green smoothie approved by Dr. Brett, and I'll tell you what those approved ingredients are, you will not only begin to heal, but you will start feeling and seeing a difference in your life, because you then are starting out. What the smoothie does is it starts your day with this incredible nutrient boost, and it allows your body to say, okay, I'm getting what I need. I don't need to crave sweets. I don't need to crave bad things, bad snacks. And you just get off on the right foot. So that smoothie we have that we've integrated into our lives, and literally our entire family drinks it every morning. It's called the Everyday Green Smoothie. It's in the Real Food Cookbook by Nadia Spradlin and Andrea. I can't remember her last name, but I'll put a link in the comments below once we are off the air. But it is power packed. It has in it usually your choice of 4 to 5 veggies. If you'd like something sweet in it, you can add a sweetener. And then a good fat, a good protein, and that's about it. So let me tell you what we put in our smoothie almost every single day. I am a creature of habit, so I just stick with the same smoothie. The kids like to kind of mix it up a bit. But my veggies that I pick every day for our family typically is kale, spinach, Brussels sprouts, carrots, and then currently I am dealing with healing a tooth. So I don't put any sweets in it anymore at all. My husband likes to throw some ginger in his. His is also 0 sweets. And then we have 2 unpasteurized eggs and a protein powder by Standard Process, specifically their whey protein. Their whey protein has no sweets in it, no added sugar or anything, which I really appreciate. It still gives that protein powder. And what's special about Standard Process, and that is literally the only company we use for supplements now. Over the last year and a half, it's been the only one we go to. That's when Dr. Brett has taught us to really appreciate. And the reason is that everything they process is processed at a low temperature. And so none of the nutrients are being damaged. They're all whole food supplements, and your body knows what to do with them versus synthetic supplements and artificial everything, and high temperature processing that most protein powders have. So you really want to steer clear of most protein powders. I know that all of you are probably saying, but I use this one right now and I think it's really good. And okay, once you know the real parameters that you need to be looking for in a good product, whatever product that is, whether it's corn chips, I'm talking processed products, corn chips, flour tortillas, cheeses, protein powders, vitamins, those types of processed foods that aren't something that we typically make ourselves. And that's in general. I am starting to make them more myself, but the things we rely upon, then you can make those comments. But one of the things Dr. Brett told us when we first started was, look, everybody says they're eating healthy and they really aren't. And I'll tell you why. And so for the last year and a half, that's what we've learned from him, is what healthy actually means, and how he has seen people healing across the board with what he deems healthy. And I agree with him. I really do. One of the things that he does talk about is, and Dr. Brett, plug your ears, because if you do see this, I don't want you hearing this, is that, you know, Yeshua does say he is the bread of life. So at some point, I am going to incorporate good, clean, non-GMO, non-bioengineered, fully fermented sourdough back into our lives in a limited manner. But at this point, we are not doing any grains whatsoever because we are only a year and a half into our healing. Do you know how long it takes for your body to heal fully? If given exactly what it needs every single day, it could take up to 7 years. That's how long it takes your body to renew every cell, to rebuild every cell in your body. Isn't that amazing? Our bodies are just fearfully and wonderfully made. I love that the Father uses so many symbols around the number 7. So after 7 years, and I did a lot of damage to my body over the last 50 years. So much damage, from alcohol to lack of nutrients to pharmaceuticals, toxins in our food and air. I didn't know these things. And so I was starting to see the result of that. Some of my symptoms that I saw going into Dr. Brett was cavities all over the place, numbness in my fingers and toes, pain in my joints, migraines, frequent illness, inordinately long menstrual cycles, things that I thought were signs of perimenopause. No. A year and a half ago, I said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. This is not right. And really what I was responding to was our family's long illnesses. And then I had kind of some hope for other things, but I really went to him for our long illnesses and frequent. And I have been so blessed over the last year and a half. And I can honestly say that all the other things have just slipped away. They're all gone now. They're all gone. I rarely have migraines unless I get into something toxic. My tooth is healing. I haven't gone to a dentist. It's healing. I had a list, I think, of 30 different symptoms. And I think I'm down now to like 12. And you know what? Those are ones that I added on afterwards because I all of a sudden realized, wait a minute, these things can be healed, like crepey skin as I age, it can be healed. Bad eyesight as I age, it can be healed. These are things that take a long time to heal with nutrients, a long time. They're not going to heal with anything else, but your body requires those good nutrients, and they eventually heal. So I want to give you hope with that. Anyway, for these smoothies, going back to the smoothies, for my husband and I, and the foundation of that, raw milk. Find yourself a good raw milk producer. If you don't have your own dairy animals. And I will also try to put a link in there. I might be able to do that right now. But Real Milk is the website that that you can go to see, realmilk.com, that you can see where you have real milk available to you. And that is literally the foundation of everything you're going to do with your good food. It's an amazing snack. But if you're doing any other kind of dairy besides raw dairy, it is inflammatory, and you will see the negative results of that. I'm talking milk, yogurt, cottage cheese, sour cream, regular cheese, ice cream, all of these dairy products that we consume regularly as at least vegetarian. The only ones that don't would be vegan. But, you know, even vegetarians consume these inflammatory products. I am not touting vegetarianism. I believe our bodies need meat to heal. But what I'm saying is everybody consumes them. And if you're consuming a or a pasteurized product, a non-raw product, your body is going to respond and in a negative way. So that's the foundation of every good smoothie is raw milk. And you can find it in the comments. I was able to post it. And then all of those good veggies that I told you about, one fruit to 4 or 5 good veggies. That's the ratio that Dr. Brett taught us. And I don't even do the fruit now because I'm trying to heal this tooth. But if you do add any fruit, we add a half a banana unpeeled, which really boosts the flavor, which is amazing. The flavor is just really good. Oh, and I did actually forget 2 things in that smoothie recipe. One is cinnamon. I do a good almost tablespoon of cinnamon, which is anti-inflammatory, and a good tablespoon of a nut butter, not peanut. And I'm not saying it because of allergies. I'm saying it because Dr. Brett has found that most peanuts are moldy. And even if they're organic, moldy. It's very difficult unless you're doing it in small batch, growing it yourself, knowing that there's no mold. It's harmful to your body. So stay away from that. So, you know, we make our own nut butter. We buy it if we can find like almond butter or whatever. But, you know, if I make it at home, I buy like those bags of pumpkin seeds at Costco and I throw them in my food processor and blend them with some coconut oil until they're soft and throw that in my smoothies. So there are really easy ways to do that. And I want to pass it along to you guys. I'm going to be posting more videos of these foundational aspects of what we eat every day to heal and to be healthy. So yeah, the half a banana would be really the only fruit that we put in our smoothies. The kids love to put other flavored fruit in there, like blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. But I really put the brakes on that for the most part because I want them learning to appreciate things that aren't super sweet. And then we leave the fruits and honey and even coconut sugar for Shabbats so that they really learn to appreciate that. Maybe they have a piece of fruit a day, you know, after a meal, so their blood glucose doesn't spike. Hi, Ned. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about good foundations of health. So talking through the smoothie. And then the last thing is you really need to get a good high-powered smoothie maker. Ours is not the Ninja. It is the other one that came prior to the Ninja. I can't remember the name. I'll put it in the comments. But it is amazing. And I'll tell you what, you guys, if you just have a normal blender from like Walmart or whatever, the smoothies do not come out good because they are not, you know, processed the way it needs to be processed to really blend up all that fiber. You are putting so much fiber into it. So that is a really good way to start your day with a nutrient dense start. And then honestly, if I throw in a couple non-pasteurized eggs in there, it will last me a good 4 hours. Sometimes longer, depending upon how I'm feeling. Post your questions, Ned. If you have any questions about your health, healing, I have spent the last 2 years of my life under the tutelage of an amazing naturopath here where we live, and I've gone through his academy that he had or has for anyone to go through, and have graduated with honors, I might add. I was very excited when I saw my grades come in. I couldn't believe it. I really struggled with grades when I was in high school and college, and that was probably because I didn't enjoy what I was studying. But I really enjoyed studying in the Divine Design Academy. So Anyway, well, we're getting nigh on to 20 minutes, and I think Ned logged off. So if there are any other questions or comments, please let me know now. I'd like to make this a rhythm, speaking of rhythms, where we get on every week and those who are in the community post their questions, and I address them with what I've learned through Dr. Brett. So next Wednesday at noon, I will commit to you to getting on to answering your questions. And I will share with you any victories that I've had over the course of the week, and any things that have come up that I feel like I need to address. So create that rhythm in your life. Start with your spiritual life, and then think about one thing you can change this week to create a rhythm in your physical life to heal your body. I challenge you to do that. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you all next week on Health Watchers Live at noon Eastern Standard. May you be greatly blessed this week in your daily walk with the Lord, as well as your daily walk healing. And we'll see you next week. Shalom, shalom. Until next time.